Hey everybody, welcome to Present 10s. Today, we are going to go over the top 10 most watched Netflix series. Netflix has more than 200 million subscribers, and the Netflix users average 3.2 hours of video streaming per day. Make sure to watch until number 1, because it's one of the most amazing series I've ever seen. Number 10 is Never Have I Ever. It released on April 27, 2020. Starring Maitreyi Ramakrishnan and Aaron Barnett. The story of the series is the complicated life of a first-generation Indian-American teenager studying in a high school in America. The series received positive reviews. The series has been described as a watershed moment for South Asian representation in Hollywood, and has been praised for breaking Asian stereotypes. Netflix renewed the series for a second season. It has Netflix viewers over 40 million. Number 9 is The Umbrella Academy. The Umbrella Academy is an American superhero streaming television series, based on the comic book series of the same name written by Jared Way. The first season was released on Netflix on February 15, 2019. The story of the Umbrella Academy is set in a universe where 43 women around the world give birth simultaneously on 12 p.m. on October 1, 1989, despite none of them showing any sign of pregnancy until labor began. 7 of the children are adopted by eccentric billionaire Sir Reginald Hargreaves and turned into a superhero team that he calls the Umbrella Academy, and prepares his children to save the world. Netflix reported that 45 million households had watched season 1 during its first month of release. Number 8 is Ratched. Ratched is an American psychological thriller streaming television series created by Evan Romansky, developed by Ryan Murphy, and starring Sarah Paulson in the title role. The story of the series is a young nurse at a mental institution becomes jaded and bitter before turning into a full-fledged monster to her patients. Ratched received a 2-season series order. The first season premiered on Netflix on September 18, 2020. Netflix reported that 48 million people watched Ratched season 1. Number 7 is Too Hot to Handle. Too Hot to Handle is an American reality television dating game show produced by Fremantle production company Talkback. It was created by Laura Gibson and Charlie Bennett. The rule of the game is that the contestants had been tricked into having no sexual contact for 4 weeks. If they made it, they would be paid $100,000. The show consisted of 8 episodes, all of which were released on the 17th of April 2020 on Netflix. This Netflix show has been watched by more than 51 million people around the world. Number 6 is Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit is a 2020 American coming-of-age period drama miniseries based on Walter Tevis's 1983 novel of the same name, starring Taylor Joy. Beginning in the mid-1950s and proceeding into the 1960s, the story follows the life of Beth Harmon, an orphan chess prodigy on her rise to the top of the chess world while struggling with drug and alcohol dependency. Netflix released The Queen's Gambit on October 23, 2020. After 4 weeks it had become Netflix's most watched scripted miniseries. More than 62 million viewers watched this series on Netflix. Number 5 is Tiger King. Tiger King is a 2020 American true crime documentary streaming television miniseries about the life of zookeeper Joe Exotic. The series focuses on the small, but deeply interconnected society of big cat conservationists such as Carol Baskin, owner of Big Cat Rescue, and collectors such as Exotic, whom Baskin accuses of abusing and exploiting wild animals. The series received positive reviews from critics, and according to Nielsen ratings, this series was watched by 34.3 million people over its first 10 days of release, ranking as one of Netflix's most successful releases to date. Netflix reported this series was watched by more than 64 million people around the world. Number 4 is Stranger Things. Stranger Things is an American science fiction horror mystery thriller streaming television series created by the Duffer Brothers and released on Netflix. Set in the 1980s in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana, the first season focuses on the investigation into the disappearance of a young boy amid supernatural events occurring around the town, including the appearance of a girl with psychokinetic abilities. Stranger Things has attracted record viewership on Netflix and has a broad, active and international fan base. The series has received critical acclaim for its characterization, pacing, atmosphere, acting, soundtrack, directing, writing, and homages to 1980s films. More than 65 million viewers are watching this series. Number 3 is Money Heist, is a Spanish heist crime drama television series created by Alex Pina. The series traces 2 long-prepared heists led by the professor, one on the Royal Mint of Spain, and one on the Bank of Spain. The series was initially intended as a limited series, to be told in 2 parts. It had its original run of 15 episodes on Spanish network Antena 3 from the 2nd of May 2017 through the 23rd of November 2017. Netflix acquired global streaming rights in late 2017. Netflix renewed the series with a significantly increased budget for 16 new episodes total. Part 3, with 8 episodes, was released on the 19th of July 2019. Part 4, also with 8 episodes, was released on the 3rd of April 2020. More than 65 million viewers are watching this series, and it is also included in the highest rated series of IMDb. Number 2 is Lupin. Lupin is a French mystery thriller streaming television series created by George K. and François Uzan that premiered on Netflix on the 8th of January 2021. The series consists of 10 episodes, released in 2 parts. The show stars Omar Sy in the role of Arsène Diop, a man who is inspired by the adventures of master thief Arsène Lupin, a character created by Maurice Leblanc in the early 1900s. The story follows professional thief Arsène Diop, the only son of an immigrant from Senegal, who had come to France to seek a better life for his child. Arsène's father is framed for the theft of an expensive diamond necklace by his employer, the wealthy and powerful Hubert Pellegrini, and hangs himself in his prison cell out of shame, leaving the teenage Arsène an orphan. 25 years later, inspired by a book about gentleman thief Arsène Lupin his father had given him on his birthday, Arsène sets out to get revenge on the Pellegrini family, using his charisma and mastery of thievery, subterfuge, and disguise to expose Hubert's crimes. Netflix reported that more than 70 million people has seen this series within a month. And number 1 is The Witcher. The Witcher is a Polish-American fantasy drama streaming television series produced by Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich. It is based on the book series of the same name by Polish writer Andrzej Sapkowski. Witcher Geralt, a mutated monster hunter, struggles to find his place in a world in which people often prove more wicked than beasts. The Witcher explores the legend of Geralt of Rivia and Princess Ciri, who are linked to each other by destiny. It stars Henry Cavill, Freya Allen, and Anna Chalotra. The first season consisted of 8 episodes and was released on Netflix in its entirety on December 20th, 2019. Netflix reported that The Witcher has viewers more than 76 million. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos of top 10 and much more.